All right, tonight we're going to continue with the second-hand layout training series. And I believe this is episode 8. So focally, we'll go front to back because I think I would like this area to be kind of a downtown area. So all right, over here, I'm not really sure what to do. I'm kind of thinking that I would like to make this kind of like some farm area. All right, guys, it looks like this is really gonna happen. I think in this area that I couldn't decide on, maybe we'll just do like a light industrial area. That's kind of cool. We have a lot of light industrial type buildings, so that'll work. I think first thing I want to do is I want to take all this stuff out from here. Now we have a blank downtown area, and with a lot of buildings that could possibly take it. All right, how about that for a downtown area? I kind of like that actually. So all right, we don't have that many houses here, so that might be an issue. Let's see. All right, I am very happy with the downtown area. I'm not quite as happy with the residential area here, but it's all right. Yeah, it's coming together. So, all right, we need some trees and stuff, but first things first. All right, let's get back over here to this industrial area. Let's see what we can do with that. All right, I think I kind of like that. So, all right, let's get these trucks someplace that they're going to look pretty cool. Let's see where that would be. Trucks going through the residential area. Everybody will be thrilled. So, all right, the only thing that I'm not really loving is that we don't have any farm. Do not have a farm. I kind of wanted a farm. All right, so I'm happy with this. I think on the industrial area, we got the little industrial buildings, and we got some apartments that you might find in an industrial area. And we got downtown over here. Pretty happy with downtown. That looks pretty cool, I think. So, and then I kept my tower on the other side of the track where I wanted it, and that turned out pretty well. And then over here we got our residential area, and it could use a building or two, but on the other hand, once we get the trees and everything in there, it ought to be okay. So what I'm not all that happy about is this area over here where I kind of wanted it to be the farm. I don't have a barn, so we're going to have to, I guess, look for a barn. So all right, let's get some trees and stuff in here. Let's see what we can do. My goodness, what a difference some trees make. Wow, that's amazing. Whoa, we went from not looking so great to, man, this is pretty awesome. All right, let's keep going. All right, then I got some smaller trees here. Let's try those out. All right, guys, this is starting to look really nice. I'm kind of impressed. What do you guys think? All right, let's see what else we can do. Wow, I really love that effect. Look at that. They look like dead trees. That is so freaking cool. All right, let's keep going. All right, so how about the forest area over here? That's pretty cool. All right, very nice. All right. Well, you know, we need to get a barn, but other than that, that's a good way to fill that in, right? Very cool. Very cool. I like this a lot. All right, for one evening, we didn't do too bad. Very nice. Liking it a lot. I think my favorite part, though, my favorite part of the entire evening is the dead trees by the shady apartment complex. That just, I mean, oh wow, that's just awesome. Very cool. All right, guys, what do you think about this? Man, I'm loving this. I am loving this. So this turned out a lot nicer than I thought it was going to. We received some mail. Wow. This says, hey, GGS Railways. I just wanted to drop a quick note to say thanks for all the awesome content you've been putting out. Seriously, it has been a joy to follow along with everything you share. Your videos are always top-notch and super engaging. It's clear you put a lot of effort into making sure everything is both informative and entertaining. Keep up the fantastic work. I'm excited to see what you come up with next. Jim in Montana. Wow. My goodness, that's quite a glowing letter there, isn't it? Well, thank you, Jim. That's really nice. Appreciate the encouragement. You know, for your creators on YouTube, they really do need an occasional, encouragement. So, all right. So I got this envelope also today. I say today. I don't check my box all that often, so so in the last couple of weeks. So, all right. This is actually a magazine or a book. I guess it's not a magazine. It's a book. And it says Trains of the 70s, classic trains. Very cool. What does this letter say? What does this note say? So, all right, this is handwritten, and I'm just going to tell you that I'm going to have a little bit of a hard time maybe reading this because, well, my handwriting is horrible, so I'm not one to judge, but this is going to take some effort here. So, all right. Hey, Greg. My name is Richard, and I get a kick out of your videos. So many of the things you show and play with, I have also enjoyed over my years. I am 80 years old, and it has come to the part. Oh, it's come time to part with a few of my things. Sorry. Today I am sending this book. I hope you will like it. I do like it. Thank you. I will send you other things as my health allows. Thank you for reminding me of the immense joy of the hobby. My back and legs won't tolerate much anymore, so I am living vicariously through your videos. Thank you for bringing back the memories, Richard. Well, Richard, thank you for the book, and that is quite enough. You don't really need to send me anything, but we appreciate it. We really, really do. That is super nice. Thank you for thinking about us. That is really nice. We will enjoy reading this. I promise we will. Wow, my first mail call. I'm super excited. I'm going to call this kind of the black tie edition because all these guys are just that special. And I mean, obviously, I'm not dressed for the occasion. First off, here on the track, we have the Lionel 263E, which is also known as the Blue Comet. Probably one of the most iconic and collectible train sets ever for Lionel, which means it would have been a part of the Lionel Classics offering. And then next we have the Lionel 9E, which is a standard gauge locomotive, which makes it special in its own right. Not unlike the Blue Comet, this is a remake. This is a newer locomotive. This is the American Flyer Blue Comet. It says Comet and it has a blue nose, so Blue Comet, yes, you can figure that out. And then it has the highly sought after, highly collectible chrome cars that would have come with the set, the Ives 1100, which was from 1912. This set was from 1912. I believe this is the oldest train set that we own. Lionel and Ives were very much in competition with each other. Right, and then next we have the American Flyer 302 AC. If you were a child in the late 40s, early 50s, and you got a beginner train set and there's American Flyer, this is very likely what you had. All right, then last but definitely not least, we have the Bing 7590. If you're familiar with Bing, they made some really, really high quality, ultra valuable train sets. And anyway, this is all I have of Bing. Okay, I'm laughing because I just did this really great intro to this video and the camera was not going. We're working on the secondhand layout. This seems to be a favorite of you guys, and it's one of my favorites too. So for those of you that may be the first time tuning in on the secondhand layout series, well, we call it the secondhand layout because, well, obviously somebody owned this before us, so yes, secondhand. All right, what we've basically done is we've created a diorama. I wanted these sections to be removable. And the reason for that, and you might want to think about this if you're doing a layout, is that at some point this is going to have to move. Now, one of the things that you may want to think about if you're considering buying a secondhand layout is, there's some really, really nice ones that pop up from time to time, but you really have to think about it because, okay, how's it going to fit in your space, and how are you going to get it out of where it is now and back into where you are now. So the first thing that we did was we took pictures. We took a picture and made sure that you know, everything was where we wanted it. It looked good on the camera, because a lot of times you can take a picture and you can see things that you can't see basically with your eyes. We're gonna do this in kind of like modules, diorama modules. I cut it a little bit too short. Now don't worry if you do that. If you use a kind of sturdy cardboard, you can put it together and kind of tape it. It'll be fine. You know, I got out the picture that I took and I kind of placed the buildings where they go, and I traced around the buildings with a Sharpie. So that basically gave us our layout, how things are gonna go. We once again kind of backed up, looked at it, said, yeah, okay, I like that. We kind of traced in where we thought some roads might go, and I mean, it all kind of started coming together. It looked really nice. I think it turned out really, really well. So we glued one edge of that, and then we kind of peeled it back to look at, you know, where our buildings are stuff were, and kind of started laying them out and tracing around them again. So that way we had a place, or we knew how, you know, kind of a map of where our buildings would go. I mean, just kind of an approximate outline. It worked out really, really well. So I was a little concerned about how we were going to do the roads, and I just think I figured that out, and we'll talk about that next. But that's how we got to this point, so let's go on. All right, guys, I think I figured out how I'm going to make the roads look like roads as opposed to painted lines. My thought is we're going to use some sidewalk chalk. Yes, bear with me. My roads aren't exactly even here. I'm not going to worry too much about that right this minute. I just want to see if this is going to work. That's pretty good on the camera. Let's see. That should give us the texture. And then I'm going to move this little car. Just gonna go with the paint. That looks incredible, actually. All right, I think I'm pretty happy with that. Let's put our buildings back. Let's put our diorama back. Sorry, who's ready to light all this stuff up? You know, I am. All right, so the light is shining into the side, but otherwise you can kind of tell how this is gonna look. It's very, very sharp. I like it a lot. All right, guys, I don't care who you are. That is pretty freaking cool. Wow. All right, so we still got the people to do. Then we're going to call it about it for this episode, because, wow, we've really done a lot, haven't we? All right, everybody, so this is the diorama that goes in this section. It's about done. We got people, we got vehicles, we got lights. Man, we just got all kinds of things. So let's turn off this light and see just exactly what we see. Wow, that is really, really cool. So I don't know if you can see, but you got the street lights and the buildings lit, and just, wow, it's just really coming to life. All right, guys, well, I think this is probably about it for now, but stay tuned. We're going to do more on the secondhand layout. So this is going to be the making of the July 4th video, the kind of behind the scenes things, some of the things that happened. The video opens up with this beautiful, I mean, gorgeous 1950s era Lionel Santa Fe ABA set, dual motors. I mean, this is it. You're a child in the 50s, this is what you wanted for Christmas. I think Amtrak, although, you know, no American flags or anything, it does have red and blue and some very, very significant nods to American history. So what were some of the challenges to the opening scene here? I mean, it seems pretty straightforward, right? Well, not quite. The 1950s Lionel Santa Fe ABA is a power hog. It consumes a lot of electricity. It's dual motor. And it's from the 50s. There's nothing power efficient about it, and it's running on fast track. And if you think about the way that fast track is constructed, it's not designed to carry or provide that much load. That the fast track actually got hot enough that it was wanting to melt. So, all right, yes, that was the challenge with that scene. All right, and then in the background we see the G-scale starting, and he's adorned with flags, and he's got the circus car behind him, then a car that we actually made. All right, so this is a close-up of the patriotic car that we made out of the Christmas car. And then, of course, you know, we got the sign that says fireworks, then we got the red, white, and blue load that kind of looks like maybe it's fireworks, I don't know. One of my pride and joy moments was I was able to incorporate the American Flyer Royal Blue into the video, you know, blue, red, white, and blue. So yeah, this guy does not get to see a whole lot of runtime because he's pretty mini, and I like him quite a lot, and I'd like him to stay nice. So we don't use him a lot, so he just kind of comes out for special occasions, and I would definitely say that July 4th was a special occasion. The challenge was then to do the red and the white. So Then I did this guy here, which is just simply a red gondola. And I put some red, white, and blue, I guess, I don't know what you call these, sparkles. And anyway, if you're worried or wondering about, you know, how did I get these in here, they kind of look like they're glued, don't they? Actually, but anyway, no. What I did is I just built up some tissue paper, and as you can see, that is simply just an insert. So yeah, no damage to the car whatsoever, nothing. It just simply sits in there. So all right, that's that. I took the red caboose and I painted it white. I adorned it with some gold, and I put American flag stickers all over it. Now my initial thought when I did the stickers was, wow, that's too many stickers, but you know what? In the video, they look awesome. So yeah, somebody took this and repainted it blue. Now, of course, the obvious thing to do is to find white and red. So we have red, white, and blue. And you see where I put the flags on it here. What you may not can notice is that there's some little holes that are built in here. They're not actually designed for flags, but they're just stuck in there. There's nothing special about that. So now that July 4th is over, we can actually take those out. But anyway, that's the locomotive. Quite nice. And to compliment him, we did the white tank car. You may have seen the video where we painted this and put the stickers on it. Once again, I thought when I did the stickers, it might be too much, but now that we've done the video, I can say that no, that's perfect, you know? All right, so, and then of course the caboose, which is red, adorning it with some gold, and once again, kind of the same story. Now on Mark's 10 toys, I kind of have the feeling that they kind of look like toys to start with, so you don't have to worry a whole lot about, you know, making them look more toyish. And then next we have this guy here. It's also by Mark's, and once again these flags are just stuck in here. We're going to go ahead and take them out. So the challenge with this guy was that none of these cars actually go together. This car here with some little things that I found at, I believe it's Hobby Lobby. Got some flags with the incorrect number of stars, by the way. Now you might notice that this is the same blue as the last Mark's that I showed you. This is actually the caboose that came with that guy that somebody painted very, very nicely. All right, so if you pay attention to the video closely, you'll see that this guy is in the video for exactly one round, for one circle of the track, and then it changes to a Disney locomotive, which we'll talk about in a minute. All right, so as I alluded to just a moment ago, the last locomotive only made one lap, and there was a good reason for that, and then it got switched to the Disney locomotive. Hey, let's see, what does it say? Chattanooga Industrial Railroad. The only reason I use it is because it's red, white, and blue. Basically an aquarium car, but it's a 4th of July car where, you know, you have the 4th of July parade going by. And this is the reason why we use the Mickey Mouse train instead of the one that I showed prior to that, because the Mickey Mouse train is Lion Chief, which means that you can have full power to the track and then control the speed through the Lion Chief remote. And yeah, I'll show that right here. All right, so the problem is that with the other locomotive, the power is, you know, through the normal track power, and so the light on the aquarium car, the parade car here, if you will, was too dim to see it. So with the Mickey Mouse train, we could turn the power all the way up. He'd be nice and brightly illuminated. So that is why the trains switch. One of the other last-minute acquisitions was this guy here, and this is a State of Maine car. You've probably seen this car before, but once again, red, white, and blue, very patriotic, very nice, very large car. I did not realize that this was quite this large when I got it. All right, and here we have arguably the star of the show. This is the Spirit of 1776 Lionel set. It's actually the complete set. These couplers don't exactly ride correctly, and every once in a while the powered unit will get loose from the rest and come and collide with them. And yeah, we might even have some evidence to show you of that. Yeah, we don't like to wreck our trains, but it does happen occasionally, especially on this guy, so you really gotta watch it. And once again, with that many trains running, you are subject to have that happen. These are the 13 original colonies of the United States, And the cars are numbered, and they're numbered in order that the states were admitted to the Union. So yes, that's very, very nice. These are actually in pretty minty condition, even though we have, like I said earlier, had a couple of collisions. And then to end the pack, we have this very, very nice Spirit of 1776 caboose, and painted red, white, and blue, and he's in fact a lighted porthole caboose. All right, and then we had this little Santa Fe, and of course you had the flags right here, and they were on there with the lower temperature hot glue. Works pretty good. Once again, I don't necessarily suggest that, but for this guy, it was okay. These guys are actually salt and pepper shakers, and they are also from Hobby Lobby. And these are hot glued to the car. Once again, they would probably come off there and not be of any damage to the car, but I kind of like them, so I'm going to leave them on there. Pretty cool. All right, so this was our standard gauge offering for the July 4th video. Once again, I put the flags on the front. Now, believe it or not, I believe that these guys right here on the front of this are actually designed to be flag holders. So the challenge with this guy was that because he's kind of big and well, you know, standard gauge obviously, and he makes wide turns, the the bicentennial, the 1776 bicentennial train, the Lionel that we just showed, makes also very wide turns, and so you cannot run this guy and the 1776 train at the same time, or else they will collide. So anytime you see this guy running, you will not see the 1776 in the video running, and vice versa. So let's talk about some of the logistical things that we had going on here in the room, and some of the things that we overcame, and some of the things that didn't quite work out like we had originally planned, but it still turned out okay. I mean, it was still a pretty good video, I think. I was kind of counting on the MTH to smoke, and if you own a MTH locomotive, you know that they smoke prolifically. It will easily fill this entire room with smoke, and I kind of was hoping that it would be able to do that for the 4th of July video, and I'll explain why here in a little bit. For the finale, I wanted, you know, the Star Spangled Banner to be playing, you know, bombs bursting in there, and have the smoke, and you know, kind of the effect, and well. That's a pretty big vision, isn't it? All right, so then the challenge was, you know, fireworks. How do you make fireworks indoors? You've probably seen them at like weddings and stuff, parties, whatever. But I didn't know if it would like stain my cars, or if it made some sort of residue that would get on the track, and I don't know. I never could figure that out. And as it turns out, well, the pricing that was represented on on eBay was not exactly. Well, I won't say it wasn't truthful, but it wasn't, you know, by the time you got done, you spent about 4 times the money, is really what it worked out to be. Starting to get, you know, late enough that I need to worry about, you know, I need to get this stuff, I need to test it, and I need to make sure it's going to work. Because my MTH, you know, wouldn't get full power to run around the track, it didn't smoke as prolifically as I needed it to fill the room with smoke, so I had to buy a fog machine. Fog was a very dramatic effect that I wanted for the very ending. You know, with the flag waving and the smoke and the you know, the Star Spangled Banner playing. I mean, I really had this planned out in my head, guys. I really did. Let's check this out. Watch. Yep, that's pretty prolific, guys. So one of the things that I had not planned on is that in order for this to be smoky in here, it almost has to fill the entire this portion of the house up, which is quite large. But it does it very, very rapidly. This is kind of a stage one, so yeah, it works very, very well, and you can see it gets very, very foggy in here very, very fast. What you can't see is that my entire house is now foggy. Okay, so one of the major challenges that we overcame was that this American flag here almost didn't arrive on time. This light that we have that makes the fireworks effect. In order to record the video and have the lights be, you know, in sync with the audio, is we need to record the video live. Now the problem with that is that then when you go to make the video, you have to overlay it with the actual soundtrack so that the sound, well, sounds like it's supposed to. And my timing got off, and I had to actually wind up muting the the one that we recorded and just playing the other. So if you'll notice, the timing is off on the thing. This is what it should have looked like. And of course, you know, the fog was going and all that good stuff. So in the video where the fog rolls in and talks about bombs bursting in air, I just thought that was that was totally worth the price of admission. Hope you guys agreed on that. But anyway, yeah, that was one of the other challenges we had, is we almost didn't get the flag in time. It said it could have arrived here as late as July 5th, and of course, you know, for a July 4th video, that's too late. So all right, we lucked out on that guy. But I mean, I think you guys can agree that this was well worth the money. Just so awesome. All right, so yeah, that's one of the other challenges that we had. All right, so one of the other challenges that we face is when it gets this foggy in here, especially with the lights out. And because the room is so full of stuff, it gets very, very difficult to navigate this room. So yeah, that was was one of the other challenges, was you know, moving the camera and doing the shots and not stepping on anything. So yeah, that was definitely a challenge. And the main challenge to the video is actually the same challenge to every video that we do, where we run everything at the same time. It's very, very difficult to monitor everything at the same time. And of course, you know, these train tracks are not tied down to anything. They're just laying on the floor, so they do move around. So, you know, having having a 3-minute segment or whatever without a crash or whatever is very, very rare. So when you see those 3 and 4 minute segments, just know that probably hours worth of filming went into that. Yeah. I think we did one of the live streams where we showed, you know, the filming, and that was just a very, very small part of that video. And I think we did that for what, 2 hours that night. All right, what is all this? Well, this is the model train lot, the Ives model train lot that Melvin sent us. And I've got the locomotive all apart here, and I ordered some wheels. We are hoping that if all goes well, we will have this all in one piece by the end of this video. That may be optimistic, but we'll see. I could not find Ives wheels for sale to save my life. So what we did is I looked and I looked and I looked, and the closest thing I could find was some actually American Flyer steeple cab wheels. They are very similar. If anybody notices the difference, well, okay, good for them. A little note about the frame. This frame is cast iron. So if you were to drop this locomotive, likely this would break. So, you know, if you're going to work on this, be really, really careful. So you'll notice that these are kind of a inset wheel with the place for the axle kind of inset. I didn't know what to call that. And so anyway, what I've done, and I'll show you a picture of what these look like before I ground them. Unfortunately, I did not take a picture. Nor did I show the grinding, because I really wasn't quite sure what I was doing. But I'll show you a picture of these. Would have had like a little square thing to hold the gears. This is engineered in a different way. And yeah, when I show you the picture, I'll put it right here. Yeah, that's what we had to do, because this guy has to, you know, as you see, these are inset, and so in order for this to go on the track properly and fit the actual gauge of the track, that had to be ground down. So it does fit, and yeah, we're going to be good on that. So I mean, obviously when we stick this in, it's going to kind of square out the other end, kind of like a pastry tube, but that's okay. What we're doing is trying to fill it in, make it to where it won't wobble. All right, so all these wheels have dried on the epoxy, and I think we're ready to see if maybe we can make this go. Is it going to go? I'll be darned. All right, so let's start putting some things back together. What do you say? So this cast iron cleaned up pretty nice. I didn't repaint that or anything. That looks really nice. Actually, the chassis turned out pretty nice as well. One last screw here. You'll notice that I did not completely tighten down the other end. So, all right, I'm getting excited. No. Oh, there it goes. All right, cool. All right, so I want to thank Melvin once again for entrusting us with this, and I hope we did you proud. Let's see. Very cool. How awesome. We got quite a bit to do tonight. We got quite a bit to show you. So we went to a train show and we got all these guys here. And I still haven't shown you the tank car that we brought home from Tennessee. So we're going to do that as well. But before we do any of that, we got some more mail. So all right, yeah, yesterday was a bang up day. I went to the train show, had a great day, and then had something in my mailbox. That was awesome. So all right. So this is, I've already taken the liberty of opening this and I've already read the note. I will try not to cry this time. You'll see what I mean. All right, so this is from our friend Richard, and Richard and I share a not only just the railroad passion, but we also share the probably the same handwriting. So I'm going to try to read this. I can't read my own handwriting either, Richard, so don't worry about it. So all right, this is what it says. It says, "Hi again, Greg. Your friend Richard here. You may recall I sent a model train book a little while back." Well, yeah. Yes, thank you. This is quite nice. Thank you. It's very generous. We appreciate that. Let's see. I have been slowed down a bit the last little bit and was in the hospital? Hospital. My daughter came and visited every day and was kind enough to let me watch your latest videos when she came. That's a devoted fans, guys. Well, wow, Richard, that's pretty awesome. All right, so it says, I'm back home now and we have begun the search for some of my model train things. We found these 2 train cars. Oh. And I would be honored if they can please join your collection. I have watched every one of your videos. Wow, Richard, I'm sorry. Some of those are real stinkers. Oh my goodness. And I don't believe you have these yet or haven't seen them if you do. Well, Richard, if you've watched all my videos, you've seen everything I have. So awesome. All right, so then it says, thank you for all you do. It means a lot to some of the older folk like me to see some of the childhood memories brought to life. Until I find more of my things, please do enjoy these. More to come, Richard. Wow, Richard. That is incredibly nice. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Have not looked in the box yet to see what it is, but wow, my heart is just like really touched. The first time I read that, guys, I didn't do that this time. I really had to try hard. So all right, let's see what Richard sent us. Oh wow. Look at that. Oh my goodness. Richard, really? Oh my goodness. So this is the Lionel, I believe it's O gauge. Is it O gauge or standard? You know, I'm really not sure. I'm too excited to even think. Let's see. This is O gauge. All right. Yeah, this is O gauge. Wow. My mind just totally went. My mind was literally blown there for a minute. Here, you know, I think we have maybe the newer version of this, but I believe that's standard gauge now that I'm thinking about it. So this is quite nice, and this will clean up really nice. It's got the beige and the orange, and it's got a little bit of dirt here and there, but you know, that's just what happens when they get old, right? Very nice. Oh my gosh. Thank you, Richard. That is so kind, so nice. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Went to Tennessee and visited my mom. We went to a train club there, and this is one of the things I bought. And yeah, very cool. This is a looks like a corn industrial tank car. It's very, very nice. And I got this, and I also got the Amtrak set that I showed you guys the other night. But I haven't had a chance to show you this guy's like up close and personal. So we're gonna run this, and you know, anytime I get a new tank car, what I do is I put all the tank cars together, and we run as many tank cars as we have. And yeah, we'll talk about these two back here in just a minute. So all right, this is the one that I got from East Tennessee. I just have not had a chance to even talk about this guy or show it to you. This is K-Line. So this is a Thomas the Tank Engine, and he's metal, and I believe that the man I got him from said that somebody had attempted to take a Tyco Thomas, which I don't know that this is Tyco, but anyway, and they tried to put an O-scale motor in there. Now the motor itself is pretty much fried. I checked it out earlier. It was all together when I got it. They had it buttoned up fairly nicely. I mean, you know. But anyway, this poultry car. It's got chickens and it lights up. Now it's got a little guy that when he goes around the track, he comes out the door here, but he's disconnected. I have him over there, but I haven't quite figured out how he goes in here. So we will have to do that. I'll probably have to look at a YouTube video or something to see how that goes together. I did have it apart earlier, and I couldn't figure it out. So, all right. So this is by Ives, and, you know, I'm kind of just enamored with Ives for whatever reason. So, you know, we have that one set that this could probably go behind, and this would be about that same era. So, yeah, I saw this, and once again, not a lot of money, so I kind of had to have it. So for those of you that may not know a lot of Lionel history, I just mentioned Ives. Lionel actually put Ives out of business, and I believe, if I recall the story correctly, the Lionel Jr. line was actually Ives that they redid and put their name back on it. So anyway, this guy is kind of rough. He's got some gearing problems, but he does work. I did test him out on the track without you guys earlier, sorry, because I just had to. But anyway, yeah, they have a lot better examples of these on eBay for not a lot of money. But, you know, I kind of like to buy my cars, well, you know, where they've been well loved. And this guy right here, let me tell you, he's been well loved. And I believe that this car would have come with that, but I'm really not 100% positive on that. So if somebody knows different, this is Lionel Lines 1691, and yeah, 10 plate, got the right couplers. I think this probably may have at some point gone together. I don't know. This is MTH has got some cool, I believe these are Camaros on here. So I just kind of had to have that. That was very cool. So then last but certainly not least is these tank cars. And I got this one just because it said, just because it says rocket fuel. And you know, I live in the Houston area, so that's kind of cool. Very cool. So all right, we got the rocket fuel one, and then we got this. Looks like it's from the Lionel Visitor Center. I didn't even necessarily look at what this says. I just liked it because it was white, and I didn't think I had a white tank car. So very, very cool. And I believe we have 18 tank cars on this track right now, so that ought to be cool to watch. As I alluded to earlier, anytime I get a new tank car, we run them all together like this because, well, I just like I just like seeing that. I think it's cool. Somebody has played with that guy a lot. That makes me happy, actually. All right, so let's get this stuff, or at least one of these things off the track. And we'll put the Lionel Jr. on. I think we'll probably run it where the Marks Diesel is, just because it's a lot less to get off the track. Let's do that. All right, so we have the Lionel Jr. here on the track, and I'm ready to see him go. Very cool. Hard to argue with that. So as I alluded to in the intro, unless I redid the intro, but anyway, I believe that the Lionel Jr. was actually what they renamed the Ives products that they had left over after Lionel acquired Ives. So I think that's where Lionel Jr. came from, and I think that's probably what this is. Now, you know, subject to somebody tell me different, which, you know, I've been wrong before. It's okay. All right, very cool. How about that? Lionel Jr. All right, so I put the other two cars that we got at the swap meet at the front of the train here because they are actually quite heavy. If you have heavy cars, you want to put them at the front of the train, especially when you have this many train cars. And some of these tank cars are not very heavy. Otherwise, what it's going to do is it's just going to pull them off the track as opposed to pull it around the track. All right, so we have Richard's cars here on the track behind the Commodore Vanderbilt. Very much period correct. Got the boxcar and the caboose. Man, do they look sharp behind that Commodore Vanderbilt. Now, before we show that, I think I'm going to go ahead and run the Ives, get that out of the way. You know, he does tend to be quite old, and sometimes we have to struggle a little bit with him because, well, you know, you get old, you get struggles. So, all right, let's see here. Let's go ahead and give him some power. Give him some power. See what I mean? See what I mean? So, all right. So this guy contacts the track in exactly one place underneath. So as opposed to the Lionel and some of the others where, you know, you have several different points. So, all right, let's try it again. Here it goes. Yep, that's what it was. All right, so really the only thing that we added that's new that you guys haven't seen before is the very last car. And I am very well aware that they don't match, but they are all Ives and definitely all of the same era, so that's very, very cool. All right, look at that. Very neat. So do you think we ought to, I think instead of dropping it down right now, what we'll do is we'll go ahead and start the Commodore Vanderbilt. I'm going to go ahead and stop the Ives just because it's not a good idea to run him a long, long time at any given time. So let's stop him and we will get the Commodore Vanderbilt going here with the cars that Richard so generously sent us. So all right, let's do that. Here he goes. Very cool. So Richard didn't tell us how long it's been since these have been on a track, but I suspect it's been a day or two. Very nice. Does my heart good. Very, very cool. All right, we got it going. All right, let's slow down the other, other American flyer that's just kind of chugging along and going crazy over there. All right, how about this? Very, very cool. Let's get this unboxed. Let's see what we got. Now, this was supposed to come originally with a couple of passenger cars, tender, and a locomotive. I don't believe that the two passenger cars are in here. Well, this train set would have come out in the late 40s, early 50s. We found that out from the advertisement. So this is a DC locomotive. It was originally designed to run on like a battery pack, and their marketing thing, I think it even says in the ad, you know, that safer will run for hours on a flashlight battery. I doubt that. I seriously doubt that, especially for batteries at that time. So yes, this is the tender, and that's all that's in this box. So yes, we don't have the passenger cars. I was correct in that assumption. So let's try it. All right, very cool. So yeah, it is much more than 3 volts. Well, that's pretty cool. It does work. It works really well. Doesn't particularly like to go slow. All right, guys, I got you zoomed in real good here, and we'll take a close look before we take it apart, just in case, you know. All right, so this is the locomotive, and as you can tell, it is quite plasticky looking, but it has an interesting weight to it, and the mechanicals on it, from what I can see, are pretty amazing. They have some kind of, sort of, possibly German influence. You know, I don't know that. I do know that it was made in the United States, but I'm just wondering. I don't know. We'll take it apart here in a minute, and I suspect we're going to be amazed. All right, yay, we are open. As I suspected, it is nothing like what I thought we were going to see. This is, let me get this zoomed in because this is amazing. So once again, I mused that maybe, just maybe, there's some German influence here. What do you think? That's definitely not Marx. That is definitely not Marx, no. Wow, that is amazing. That is, I mean, you've got replaceable brushes on a DC battery operated locomotive. That is amazing. That's why I said I don't think that we're going to see what I thought, just because of the weight, although it turns out the weight it was this. But I mean, look at that. That is some engineering right there. That is incredible. He's so cool. I love him. Before we get started real good on the unboxing here, we learned a few things about the Schilling train. So the Schilling train was made by, well, the Schilling Toy Company. They're out of New York, And they didn't just make toy trains, they made tricycles and bicycles and I think scooters. And I found an ad, we'll put that right here. All right, so that's kind of cool to know. Now let's get to the business at hand here. Man, look at this. All right, well you can't, I know you guys can't see it, but I can kind of see it through the bubble wrap. All right, I hope this is in better condition than those Marx cars were. And you know. All right, the plastic is in fairly good condition. Do see maybe, I don't know, a scuff or something there. The wheels do not turn. This is, yeah, this is not great. But all right, here we go. Yes, that is another shilling locomotive, and no, it doesn't look bad, but it definitely doesn't look good. This is not anywhere near the condition the other one was when we got him. This guy is obviously seen and done some stuff. The other one looked like he was almost unused. So all right, here is the other shilling passenger car, and this guy looks like he may be in just a little bit better condition. Yeah. So nope, actually, well, okay, at least one of the wheels does roll. Man, that is really rough, guys. All right, well, I mean, I have faith we can make it work. I really do. So, all right, I'm gonna put this guy over here. I saw the pictures of this locomotive, and I knew that he was pretty rough. I could see the rust and so forth on him. What I did not see was the level of rust on the couplers and the wheels of these shilling passenger cars. Now, what I'm gonna do here in a minute, just as soon as I finish showing you guys, is I'm going to clean these guys up real good. We're just going to use some probably dish soap and, you know, just scrub them a little bit, because that's what I did with the others. And we're going to see if some of this grime will come off. And then on the wheels, I think we'll just spray them down with maybe some WD-40, see how much of that rust we can get off. And I guess the goal, at least for tonight, is to see if they will run behind our other shilling over here. So, all right, let's get to doing that. All right, guys, after a lot of cleanup, this is what we got. This is the locomotive that we just got. Other than the screws have rotted to the point where the case is wanting to separate, this guy is actually not in bad condition. So, all right, this is the shilling train. This is the train as it would have come. It has the locomotive, the tender, and the 2 passenger cars. That's all that came with this set. And so that makes this a complete set now. So I am very, very happy about that. So let's see, for the very, very first time on this layout, and for the very first time in a very long time, those passenger cars rolling, because I'm just here to tell you that the level of rust that I cleaned off and got off those wheels and axles was pretty incredible. So all right, let's try it. Let's do it. I think it works better while it's pulling. What do you think? Very nice. So let's get you down close. Let's see what's going on. I'm actually planning a trip to go see my mom, and I'm going to take at least one of these guys with me. Kind of like the Hunger Games for trains. So anyway, there's a lot to consider. There's a lot to think about. Some of this stuff, you know, because I'm going to be traveling, I don't really want to risk like maybe probably my Thomas stuff, because that'd just be really sad to lose or get damaged or whatever, wouldn't it? So anyway, I'm just thinking that we're just going to kind of look at and talk about all these guys and just kind of get a sense of what we might take and what we can rule out. So some of these we can rule out right away, because some of these just simply are not operational. All right, so when you're traveling and you want to take your model trains, because everybody takes their model trains when they travel, right? Oh, all right, well, I'm going to take my model train when I travel. So, all right, if you were alive during the 80s and you were into model trains, you probably already know what this is. So for the rest of us, yes, this is a briefcase. How cool is that? But when you open it up, it gets even cooler. So, all right, see if I can demonstrate this without stuff going everywhere. So, all right. So on this side of the briefcase we have, ooh, and it didn't fall out, model train track. So yes, this is enough track to make you a really cool on the road, on the go type layout. Very cool. You know, that's just what everybody needs when they're traveling, right? So all right, you know, or if you have a boring day at the office, maybe this will fill in. So all right, then on this side, and there's no trains in here just yet, but this is little slots that you can put your model trains, and of course you got the transformer here and some railroad crossings and a road, and I got a truck in here, of course the connection for the track. So all right, yes, so we need to figure out what train we're going to take with us, and I'll tell you later what came in this, and that may very well be what we take. But you know, what fun would that be in telling you now. So all right, let's take all this stuff that I have here on the table, and let's go in there and we'll go to the elevated layout and we'll discuss it further. What do you say? Fun shenanigans, yes. All right, guys, so I think we're gonna do these in batches of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the first batch. This is kind of an interesting batch, but anyway, I think what we're gonna do is we're just gonna put them on the track. We're gonna power them up. I think I'll zoom in right here to where you guys can see real good, and we'll talk about the good points, the bad points, why we may or may not want to take whatever's on the track at that particular point in time. I think that sounds like a good game plan. Let's get to it. So who's ready to pack a train? I am. So all right, so we got our locomotive looking sharp. So I'm going to move this down a little bit. Going to lay him on his side. He will travel very nicely like that. Very nicely indeed. So then I'm just going to, this little foam road, and it is a road. I guess you can see that, right? And for the truck we have in here. So all right, yeah. We put him in there, then the locomotive can't move. It's very cool. So all right, then we have this mail car, and let's see. I believe he's going to have to go on one of these top ones. I think the observation car, which is a little shorter, has to go here. So I'm just turning in those couplers, and then we'll put him over here. And then if you move this guy over, it makes him nice and tight on that. And then we got the dome car here. Once again, I'm going to turn the couplers in just to protect them a little bit. And then perhaps we'll do the same with that guy and this one. And that's nice and tight in there as well. So all right, last but not least, we have the observation car. And we're just going to turn the couplers once again. That's why I couldn't get it on the track, because I had this back coupler that I didn't realize actually had the the coupler on the back. If that makes any sense at all. So all right, and then that guy can go in here, and the cord for the transformer will hold that all tight. So we are ready to travel. Check that out.